Welcome to
the local lowdown and
find out what's happening in Lavaca County, Texas. Now here are your hosts, Murray and Michelle.
Hello everybody, this is Murray back with you on this edition of the Local Lowdown podcast. This is for the February, or as some people call February, 28th and 29th issues of our podcast. And I got my partner Michelle here. How are you, Michelle?
I'm great, Murray.
All right.
I got an extra day in February.
And it's kind of cold out here in this studio. Somebody forgot to turn the heat on before we came out here.
It's freezing.
Yeah. What was it, 50 or?
56.
Oh, my God. Well, we got the heat cranked up, so it won't be too long. What do we got to talk about? How about the early voting?
We should, but first we should say happy birthday, because some people get to celebrate their birthday today. And they haven't celebrated for 4 years.
Oh, who would that be, I wonder?
I have no idea.
Anybody you know?
No. My grandma's birthday, oh no, the internet's gone, was February the 28th. So she was close, but I don't know anyone. Do you know anyone?
No, not really.
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah, whoever.
Whoever.
Well, let's talk about early voting while we got it on our mind.
Do you get 4 cakes, though? Wait, you're not listening, Murray. This is important information.
Oh, okay.
Do you get 4 cakes because you missed 4 years?
Well, I don't know. Maybe
or do you celebrate normally a day before?
I imagine if it was Yashik, he'd get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cakes. Yeah.
Okay, early voting. More important than 4 cakes. Early voting ends this Friday, so tomorrow, March the 1st. So you can still vote tomorrow at the Hallettsville Annex. And then after that, the next chance for you to vote is going to be next Tuesday, March the 5th. And Lavaca County has 11 locations, and they'll all be open for voting that day. And they are listed in all of our papers.
All right. Well, get out there and vote, friends. If you don't vote, then you don't have no reason to gripe about who got in and what got done. So what else have we got? Basketball teams we were going to talk about?
Basketball teams, yes. Unfortunately, here in Lavaca County, all of our teams ended their season last week. But honestly, there was many of them that had great years and great runs. So congrats to all of them. And as they move on to their spring plethora, I like to call it, of sports, because you have powerlifting going on right now. That doesn't always get talked about. Where soccer is still going on, tennis,
and now
baseball,
softball, yeah.
What else? There's something else. Track.
Yeah.
Bowling. I love bowling. Who doesn't love bowling?
Well, yeah.
Golf.
Golf. Yeah. Golf. I want to give kudos to those kids over in Moulton, being as I have a little bit to do with that newspaper. But those kids, those basketball teams, girls and boys, I believe they ended their run at bi-district and the boys got beat. I believe they were in regional. And boy, they lost by, I think it was like 45-41 to Fayetteville. And they are to be congratulated, both of those teams, on the run they had. And all these schools, like Shiner, you have some in Shiner.
Yeah, Shiner girls, they only lost 3 games coming into their last game of the season. When their season ended right before, I guess that was at the regional tournament. Those things start to get muddy for me. But so they ended their season with only 4 losses, and that's a great year. You
bet. Well, let's jump on over into the newspapers now. We'll start off with the flagship paper, the Hallettsville Tribune-Herald. What you got, Michelle?
See a lot of green for Leap Day, and Clayton Kelly did a story on being born and what leap year means for us and what goes on. So definitely read that. I know one of the interesting facts is on leap year, which now I'm going to have to scroll because I can't remember it totally. But on leap year, what year was that, Murray? 1940 was the Oscar Academy Awards, and that was when Hattie McDonald, who was the first African-American actress, received a win for Best Supporting Actress as her role Mamie in Gone with the Wind. Yeah,
and she was a good one, and she was in a whole lot of movies, especially those old movies that I watch, a lot of the classics and a lot of the westerns, and that lady she was a fixture on most all of those shows and was very, very good at it. And we have the domino tournament, right?
We do. 42 domino tournament. is going to be coming up. Of course, it is set for this for Friday and Saturday. So how exciting. I haven't played 42 in a long time. Larry and Shirley promised me and Gilbert a game, so I'm going to hold them to it. You want to join? We could have a tournament.
No. You know, I haven't played in years, but when I did play, 42 was my favorite. That was my very favorite.
So it's on. We're going to have a newspaper domino tournament. I'm setting it up in my brain as we speak. The STEM program, Jimmy did a great article about this. Unfortunately, this happened on publication day here at the paper. So none of us got to attend the event, but is it Devon Energy or Devon Energy?
I don't know. To me, it looks like Devon, but that may be wrong. I don't know.
So they made a donation with their partnership with the Cal Ripken Senior to support the STEM Center in Howesville Elementary as it opened. You can see some of the kids in this great picture using some of the activities. Now, STEM stands for, come on, Murray, we did this last year.
Yeah, well, I forgot.
Let me go find it. La la la, what does STEM stand for? STEM. Come on, Murray, let's just try. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
All right.
So.
All the things that I was terrible at in school.
Yeah, most of us here at the paper are not high on the STEM chart. We more go into the creative side of our brain. But hey, we have to have engineers and mathematicians.
You bet we do.
I use a calculator for everything.
Yeah. Just about everything's on your phone that you need nowadays, right?
And so we have some more front page news from the livestock show. And then Henry, he has a new question.
What is it?
I don't know. Something about the largest river. Let's see. Let's get there. What is the name of the major river in the mid-Atlantic region of the United States and is the longest river on the east coast of the U.S.?
Well, that's probably an easy one.
You think? The Indian Ocean.
I don't believe that's it.
That's not a river. No. Okay. Well, I didn't give it away, so you guys can all call in and give your best answers. And let's hear what Henry's thought of the day is. We believe in America because we have great dreams and because we have the opportunity to make those dreams come true.
You know, he's such a sweet little fella.
He is. His inspiration just warms our hearts.
Now let's get to important stuff.
Let's get so more information on voting in those the locations for the primary election. If you haven't early voted, is in, like I said, all of our newspapers. Hope Livestock Show, there's an article about that. There's going to be more follow-up in the next 2 weeks with the Grand Champion and Reserve Champion. Some of the papers published that this week. Our paper just had the Champion Drive, which is in conjunction with the special needs children. Great story Jimmy wrote on it, or I got from Jimmy. They may have sent it in. But check that out, and great things they're doing in Hope for that.
Yeah, that's a good thing for those kids to be involved with, and we do it every year.
So the Alamo. Let's talk about the Alamo, Murray. First, let's talk about Murray's criticism of my artwork of the Alamo.
No.
It's a good learning experience for me.
Well, no, there's a time and a place to use it, that's for sure.
So basically, Murray's just upset that I use what we recognize as the configuration of the current Alamo.
Yeah,
and its structure.
Well, Murray wasn't upset. I was just sort of calling it to your attention. But
he just slapped me.
The facade, is that what you call it?
We don't
facade?
know, Murray. You know I don't know.
Anyway, the way the Alamo is designed now with that rolling peak roof or whatever you call it on the front, it's not the way it was during the battle. And in my column that I wrote this week, we have a drawing, and this drawing is more like it looked during the battle. And this drawing was from 1854, and the battle was in 1836, so it wasn't that far away from when it actually happened.
So, in my defense, that was 2 centuries prior to my life.
Mhm.
So,
Well,
I didn't know.
any young person, or it doesn't have to be a young person, all they've ever seen in their entire life is the design that you've got at the top of that article.
And the more important thing is it's a great story written by Murray, so go read it.
Well, I try to cover things that are not what some historian says, but what comes out of journals and diaries and old newspapers from the time. And there's a book that was written by Wallace O. Cheriton called 100 Days in Texas, the Alamo Letters, and he has a day-by-day chronological order of the events that happened prior to the Alamo and after the Alamo. And everything that he gathered was from old articles, old journals. Thank God that people back then wrote down records of what they were experiencing at the time. And one in particular here is about a man that was inside the walls, and he was writing what he didn't realize. He was writing his last letter to his wife. And 3 days after he wrote this letter, he was dead. So it's something to read, and something that if you're at all interested in Texas history, you'll enjoy reading that. What amazes me, and I've been doing this for a long time, is how many of those men, and they want to give a figure around 180, by more or less, of all the places they were from. And I put on one of my groups a link to the Alamo website, and they have flags of every country and every state that every man came from that they knew about. And in some cases, if they had a biography, they would have a link to his biography. But I was going over that yesterday, and I was just amazed about how many men from Scotland, from Ireland, from England, that were in the Alamo, that were not from the United States. And then you have Pennsylvania, New York, Ohio, and that list goes on. And I think that's why the Alamo touches so many people and around the world. Its story and fight for liberty is it's world renowned, and it's called the cradle of Texas independence. It ought to be called the cradle of the world's independence. But it's if you've never been there, you need to go. And if you're a Texan and you love Texas history, you'll get the chills just stepping inside that place and realizing what happened there. And that's all I've got.
And that's all from Murray. Remember the Alamo. It's the anniversary, right? Next week?
March 6th.
March 6th. So remember what it means. Do some more research on it so you get a better feel for it. I will touch on Ask Julie a little bit. So we've had a lot of phone calls to our office about the Ask Julie column and saying it was very hard to read. We are always trying to better improve our paper. I do want to make sure that no one's complaint or concern is put on deaf ears. We listen, we evaluate. This is the size that we are allowed, or the space we are allowed for her column. So what we talked to her a little bit this week, and she expressed that she had some concerns, we had some concerns. So we're going to try to fit the number of questions to the space versus trying to fit all 3 questions that she sent.
Well, that comes in here already made. It's what we call a PDF file, and we have nothing to do with putting that together.
No, I do put it together.
Oh,
it's
do you?
me, yes.
I thought that came from her.
No, the questions come directly from her, the text, but the size is set, so I've been trying to
So that's
do
the amount of
best
space that you have.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it is the only amount of space I have to use, so that's why we're going to try this. You won't get as many questions, but you'll be able to read it, and we'll see what we could do in the future to make that better, or continue to make it better. So,
well, do you recall what font size that is?
this is 10, and it is a Arial simple font.
Well, you can get by with 9.5 if you have to go there.
If I
And
have
we
to
got
go there.
technical again, but
We're technical.
no, I really did think that came from the outside. But she befriended me on Facebook
Oh, well,
a
great.
while back, and seems like a nice person. And I think she had questions about why it wasn't always in the paper, and that's probably a free ad, or for the most part, isn't it? It's
Yes.
she doesn't get paid for that column.
No.
So anyway, but I'm glad you clarified that because I had no idea. I thought that came from somebody else.
So, guys, always share your concerns. If we could make it better, we will do our best to do that. And then we have the obituaries. Orrin C. Buddy Rimmers, age 89 of Shiner, died Tuesday, February 20th, 2024 at Seton Hospital in Kyle after a lengthy illness. Evelyn Cresta, 90 of Halsell, passed away Tuesday, February 20th, 2024. And Edwin J. Wagner, age 92 of Halsell, passed away Wednesday, February 21st, 2024. So condolences to all of their families. I will say that the youngest person on this page is 89.
No, really.
And so I feel like I learned a long time ago that age is irrelevant when it comes to death, because losing someone at any age is very hard to deal with.
Yes, it is.
And I mean, when you think about that someone has been on this earth for 89 plus years and been a part of their family and their family's makeup and how things run, that is such a huge impact and change and loss. So always remember that when you hear that someone suffered a loss. I know it's great to say that they lived great lives, and they did, and they got 90 years on this earth, but 90 years isn't long enough for their families.
No, when they leave, they leave a big hole in your heart, and it's something we all have to deal with, and all of us they've been through it. I'll put it like that. And the older you get, it's like in my case, we're down to 2 in my immediate family that started off with 6.
Wow.
So there you go. But condolences to these people, and especially to their families. And what else you got?
It was Health Awareness Month. We talked about that a little bit last week that it was in Luling. So a little bit of it got in Hallettsville this week. So definitely check that out. Your heart's very important. Without it, you're not making it. Chuck Grafe does a great job with sports. He's covering all the big stuff, which was, of course, basketball ending and baseball and softball's start. I think he said he has 4 tournaments this weekend and a track meet, or 2 tournaments. I don't know what he was saying.
No, he's got quite a load on his hands.
Unfortunately, I don't always listen to him, but we got some soccer in there as well, so that's all great.
Well, you don't listen to little Chucky and absorb his wisdom?
I
or no?
listen. Sometimes I just don't get it.
If you can listen to Yashik, you can certainly listen to little Chuckums.
Henry's so much more inspiring. We do end out Black History Month, so I hope that you got a little bit of either celebration with their great food, or you got a little touch of their history, because it is deep. I think it was great too that she won that award on leap year, and February is also Black History Month, and she was the first African American to win that award. There's some photography tips, Henry's birthdays and anniversaries, classifieds, and we'd like to thank our friends at Gonzalez Healthcare Systems for their ad this week. And we're moving on.
Yeah, let's move on because we're running behind.
What? I can't believe it. You said we didn't have enough to talk about. The Shiner Gazette.
The Shiner Gazette. Somebody in here really loves the Shiner Gazette. I do love
Shiner. Big Butt contest took place this past weekend. So there's a lot on that. Murray's article on the Alamo. They have their livestock show this weekend, so go out there, support their kids. those kids that have worked really hard. Thanks to the advertisers that made this special section available.
Where do they have that at?
It is at the Casper Pavilion, which is near the Green Dixon Park. So, like, going out to the baseball fields. And they're going to have a barbecue meal tomorrow. It is chicken on the bone. I'm just going to warn anyone that's like me. And it is Friday, but if you eat that meal, you get, it's not compensated. Something else, Murray. What's the word?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
I'm trying to say that if you're Catholic and you're not supposed to eat meat on Friday, if you eat that meal,
It's okay?
it's okay. But we never talked about the Pope last week.
Well, see, I'm kind of left in the dark on this because I'm not Catholic.
But you can read.
One of the very few, probably the only one in this office.
No, I am not Catholic. I'm Lutheran. But I was born Catholic.
There you go.
So I guess I have some history.
No, I read somewhere where the Pope had made it okay to do something, but
He
I
basically, his comment from what I read, and I sent to Murray, because, you know, I always like to send Murray little things throughout the day. I don't want him to miss me.
Oh, yeah.
So it said that it's not just about eating meat. Like, if you eat a hot dog on Friday, good chili cheese hot dog, by the way, it's not really like, oh, you're just a bad, horrible person, or you committed this horrible sin. It is more the fact that, like, if you don't eat meat on Friday and you go be mean to everyone in the world and is just an ugly, dirty, nasty person, that not eating meat is not going to save your soul.
Probably not, because I'm a nasty person every day.
That's not true. I love Murray.
Oh, right.
But I'm just going to say, I think of it as, and this is, of course, my personal view, so don't come down too harsh on me, but being born Catholic, so I went to a Catholic school, so not eating meat on Fridays has been a part of my life for a very long time. I take it as just a time that I can sacrifice something that obviously leads up to one of the greatest sacrifices that was ever done for mankind, in my opinion. So it just kind of reminds me of that, and that's why I do it still.
All right.
There you go.
Well, let's move on.
Religion and politics always gets me in trouble. We already went over this obituary. More Hope Livestock Show. March is proclaimed Quilt Celebration Month.
All right.
Do you know how to quilt, Murray?
No, but I know how to cover up with one.
Oh, and it's nice and comfy. And there's some very beautiful quilts. I just
Yes,
want to
there
let
is.
people know. Mark Luby does a great job. Of course, he's finished with basketball too. He said that he attended Tuesday's game, the Moulton game. And that was his last basketball game, which he had a nice long season run. They're also in golf and track and tennis, and you can see a lot of that going on. Those big buck winners, congrats to those guys. And is there any gals?
I don't see it. Well, I don't know
finish
who this
third.
lady.
First place, Frank. Oh no, I can't say the name. Wojtek. And third place, Stacy Wagner. So Stacy Wagner,
Good for
kudos
her.
that you are the only woman pictured and the only woman win. Oh wait, there's more. Look at this.
There's a lot of pictures in it.
Bree Bluda and Bailey Wagner. There's some young. Look.
Yeah.
All the youngins are girls. That's highly impressive, or a lot of them.
Yes, it is.
So our future hunters are female. I love it.
We're listening to that, guys. They're going to know how to use a gun now.
That's right.
You better keep it straight.
I don't know how to use a gun. Do you
Oh,
know we
really?
had that conversation before? So Murray, his next goal in life is to take me to a open carry class and also take me to shoot a gun. My first gun. Deal?
Oh, yeah, but first of all, you got to find a place to go.
Do you trust me with the
Not
gun?
really, no. No, they will. The guns will be unloaded. But anyway, where'd you get them big Buddy Holly glasses?
You love them, don't you?
Yeah, it reminded me of Buddy Holly in that story I wrote.
I had to embrace the glasses wearing now that I'm over the age of 40. We'll just leave it at that. So it's kind of like my new thing to buy a whole bunch of glasses so I don't get bored with the same ones. And we talked about Buddy Holly, and
There you
this
go.
happened.
Yeah.
So I am rocking them, right?
You bet. Where are we going now?
We're going to Yoakum.
All right.
How was the ride?
Do what?
How was the ride to Yoakum?
Oh, it was great, and it was fast.
We got there really
You
fast. What is Yoakum Volunteer Fire Department receives a new fire truck, and this is super important. I know that Shiner was looking at one of the meetings I attended. They were looking at the purchase of new trucks, and you know, one of the biggest things that sometimes I didn't think of. Well, I'll just say personally, I don't put a lot of thought into fire truck. But even if a fire truck is running well and is older, you have to still be able to fix it and have the parts for it. And sometimes when they're older, the parts cost more to invest in and to find than getting a new truck. So we want them to have the best equipment.
You bet.
So congrats to Yoakum on that. Remember that events and meetings are always in our paper. So if you need to find out what is going on, the Grand Theater receives revitalization grant for addition. So the Grand Theater was, I don't have no clue how many years ago, but it was redone.
Yeah.
Have you been there, Mary?
I've never been there, but I'm going to go because those old theaters just fascinate me. Now I can't read that small print. Who gave them that donation? Can you read it?
It was the GVC Economic Development Director that's pictured. So
Guadalupe Valley Electric Cooperative. They are good about doing those sort of things.
Yeah, so thanks to them.
How much was that donation? Can you see that with them big Buddy Holly glasses on?
25,000 maybe? 75,000. 75,000.
All right.
Buddy Holly was helping
Buddy
me a
Holly
little
got
bit.
to see. Yeah.
Okay, we're moving right along. There's one picture left in sports of basketball, and now they're moving on to, it looks like, powerlifting and softball news. So go ahead and check them out. And then, of course, the Lego exhibit. We have some information in Houtsville about a Lego thing coming to San Antonio. This one is more local. It's just a simple drive. Murray said we got there really fast. So go ahead, check it out. It is at the Yoakum Heritage Museum.
You know, they had that writers event over there.
Yes.
That Bobby Hariska, our managing editor, was part of that. And I heard he said it was fairly successful.
Yeah, so those events, I know we're all busy, but they're awesome to attend and learn new things.
And you got your classifieds. We can't forget the classifieds.
So they're very important. If you want to sell something, get a job, all those things, that's what you want to know.
Yep, that's a fact. I was just scrolling down here looking at my story was on here, and it was cut off, I think, a little bit in the print edition, and you'll have to go online and see. You'll see the entire version.
We all make mistakes.
You bet.
Sorry.
It happens. It sure happens. And we got all kind of ads of people running for office, so
Yes.
you need to get out and vote.
So if you don't know who to vote for yet, check our papers out.
All right,
We're flying over. Say
we're
that.
gonna fly with the eagle.
Oh my
The
goodness.
Moulton eagle, that is. And the big story in Moulton is the upcoming event. It's Boot Scootin' Boogie time, which the chamber is having their 75th banquet, and they're going to have an event called Casino Night, and that's all in, this is Thursday, so it'll be in today's paper. You'll be able to see it and check it out. We'll have a follow-up on it later, next week probably, after it's said and done. So don't miss the Boot Scootin' Boogie.
And so Henry knows this mystery picture?
Yes, he knows it really well.
He does?
And he said, where did you get that?
Oh.
And I said, well, I've got a collection of old Moulton pictures from when I worked in that office years ago. He said, well, that's my mama and daddy.
Oh, man.
So I gave it away, but there's no prize in that contest, but that is Henry Joe Yashek's mom and dad.
Oh, that's
And
super
a great,
special.
great photo. And that photo was taken by a Hallettsville
Now-
photographer.
Let me just clarify this for people, because it took me a while. I used to think that people were just angry, right? Back in the day. Like, these people, like Henry's parents, I mean, look how happy Henry is.
Mm-hmm.
Could they honestly be angry people? No. But the reason they didn't smile, Murray, you know it, right?
Yeah, I know some.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the reason they didn't smile is because when you were taking the picture, the photographer was taking the picture, that it was the
View cameras.
view cameras. And so if you were smiling and you couldn't hold that smile for as long as it took, which I'm not really sure how long, but it was long, it would be blurry and your face would be all messed up.
Depending on the lighting conditions. And this photographer, Mr. Browning, I wrote an article about him. His studio was downtown Hallettsville where the flower shop is.
Okay.
That was the original studio. And he was president of the Texas Photo Association. I mean, he was big time, Mr. Browning. And he took pictures. Probably everybody in Lavaca County, if they could dig down through their family pictures, they would probably find Browning and Fry written on the back.
Wow.
But yeah, and they had this, depending on the lighting, and that's another thing about this studio in downtown Gonzales, the flower shop. It's got a skylight in it. At the time that studio was built, and it was built exclusively for photography,
Wow.
it was the farthest west photography studio in this country at the time.
Wow.
So that's a lot of history there.
It is.
But Michelle's right. They using those view cameras, depending on the amount of light they had, people had to stay stiff. And a lot of these old photographers, actually, they'd have them sitting, and they'd have a brace on the back of the chair that held their neck where they couldn't move. They couldn't turn their head.
So be happy we can smile and look happy if we're happy now.
And
So they weren't
because
angry.
this little article here, this little teaser I put on the front page, has got the mama and daddy and the son. And look at the expression on the son's face, Henry Joe Yashek, and look at mom and dad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's quite a contrast. But I didn't know when I picked that picture that was his parent.
You didn't?
No,
know?
I picked, well, this is a good picture, so I picked it. And it was going to be the mystery photo. And when Henry come back to us, where'd you get that? And I said, well, I got it out of my collection. That's my mom and daddy. I said, well, I'm going to keep it a mystery photo because it's such a damn good picture.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then we have Henry's Town Crier, of course. Make sure you guys are helping him write that by sending in your information.
Yeah, we've been a
us.
little disappointed on our turnout for that. All you have to do is call the office here in Hallettsville. What is 361-798-2481?
That is correct.
Call that number if you've got some news for Henry so we can put it in this town crier, or you can email it to realtcs@zohomail.com. That's realtcs@zohomail.com, all lowercase letters. But help us out, folks. I've been posting on our Moulton Facebook page every week prior to the paper coming out, and I've been saying, you have to have this information in by Monday noon, and we need some people to
Help us out.
put your events on there. That's what it's for, and Henry will be happy to write it up. Go ahead, Michelle.
So we got a lot of school news from honor roll to UIL practice meet results. So go ahead and check those out. Those kids are doing great things, and we're proud of them. Church news, as always. Moulton sports. Murray's got a lot in there this week. We have this service recognized. That was in some of our papers last week, and we talked about how amazing it is that of how long their service is, and thankful again to the volunteer firemen. We have another obituary. This is Dennis
Ellenhausen, I believe is the
Ellenhausen,
way. Yeah.
who passed away Sunday, February 25th, 2024, at the age of 77 after a short battle with cancer.
Yeah, he was, according to Henry Joe, he was, this gentleman was well known in that area over there, and you need to read his obituary. Not that I'm promoting anybody passing away, but I thought it was real interesting, the things that he had done, and I think that we need to wish his family and give his family our condolences as well.
For sure. And we have those classifieds. And what is this? May elections will not be needed.
I know Bobby and Clayton wrote it. Clayton wrote it, and then Bobby came in and added some information, but I think basically what it is two of Moulton's three government body elections don't have any contested races, so they were talking about the elections. They will not be needed for those two in particular. So that's basically all that's about.
All right, so we made it through everything but the Luling Newsboy, which it is a feel-good story on the front page. It is a young man's journey that inspires those who protect and serve. And this young man has been battling cancer, but his smile says that no matter how big your battle is in life, you still can enjoy the life.
I think that was part of that Make-A-Wish thing where kids that have supposedly, or not supposedly so much, the reason I say supposedly is that I don't necessarily think that mortal man has the last word on when somebody passes away.
That is very true.
I had a little brother, he's gone now, but he had pancreatic cancer, and they gave him 6 months to live, and he lived 20 years. Now, he's gone now, but the sentence that they had put on him didn't come through. So being a person that believes in the good Lord, I don't think that nobody but him has the last call on when you come or when you go.
True
I
that.
don't know. But anyway, this is a good story, and you need to read it. Bobby was telling me that he's trying to get some of our local law enforcement to take part in this. So what else does that say, Michelle? I can't see it all, but
I am not.
did that start in Caldwell County, or I think they were part of it, Caldwell County Sheriff's Department?
Yeah.
But it's on the front page of the Luling paper. Congratulations to them for running that. Nicole and her people over there, they do a mighty good job.
Yeah.
So anyway, what else you got?
And best of luck to him in his fight.
You bet.
I haven't read the whole article yet, but I'm very excited to read where his journey is. Little growers competition. Looks like they're growing some watermelons. No surprise for the watermelon capital of Texas, right?
That's it.
Are they the watermelon capital?
Well, if they're not, they should be.
I mean, McDade does watermelons too, though. Have you ever been to McDade?
Mm-hmm.
I've only been there once, but.
Yeah.
All right, so now we get to talk about my questions on our local lowdown podcast. Murray's only probably going to let me have one. So, do you sleep with the fan on, Murray?
I thought we already did that.
No, that was this week.
That was on the.
That was on the Facebook page.
Oh yeah.
But
Yes,
you
I do.
didn't
Yes, I
answer.
do. And I got a reason.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
Yep.
For 20 years, I worked shift work. 20 years. Days, evenings, and graveyards. And I had little children, 3 little girls, running rampant through the house, screaming and whatever. Well, when it was hot weather, I could have the air conditioner running, and that continuous sound would drown them out, and I could sleep. But then when winter came, and we didn't have central air and heat, I didn't have that noise because all the windows were down and everything. So I started running a fan, even in the winter. And to this day, even if the air conditioner's running, that fan's on.
True that.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. My husband is not a fan. He says the fan brings on his allergies. There's always some excuse, but we sleep with the fan, just so everyone knows who the winner of that is. And then I did promise a shout out to Mr. David Schrader. Now, let me tell you, I have known David for a very long time. He's a great nurse. He's also a great city councilman. And now I worked with him latest was at the brewery. And he bakes great barbecue and great giblet rice. And he has become the biggest joke teller in my mind, as he's constantly telling some kind of joke. And for some reason with David, I don't want to find it funny. Like, I don't want to give him the idea that, hey, you're a joke teller too. But I just can't help it. Like, he really is funny. So his last joke he posted on Facebook was, I was going to cook an alligator for dinner, but then I realized, oh, I only have a crock pot. Like, that's not funny, but it's so funny. I just don't get it.
I think that's pretty slick.
So, if you ever need a laugh, try to be David Schrader's friend. He posts almost a daily joke. 3 days ago, he said, one of the biggest lies I tell myself, I don't need to write that down. I'll remember it.
Huh.
And that's true.
Well, I'm sure he's a member of the local Lowdown group.
He is, as of last night, I think.
Well, that's good. And I was going to mention something about the local Lowdown because I just posted another one of the stories about the boys at the Dung Beetle
Saloon.
And that comes from the Uncle Willie Joe podcast that I did years ago. And I think you'll get a kick out of it, even if you wasn't a member of the boys or didn't know the boys. I know that gentleman we were talking about that was in that band that you were saying was such a good guitar player, Mr. Howard.
Howard Lloyd.
And he had a place over in Shiner.
Yes.
Does
Howard still exists. He isn't the current owner.
Okay.
But the same atmosphere as there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I had intended on going over there and never did make it, but it sounded to me like that was Shiner's equivalent of the Dung Beetle Saloon.
Yes, so listen to the podcast and let us know.
Yeah.
Think of a name at Howard's for your own saloon.
Yeah. And when we were having our meeting this morning, and Bobby Hariska was talking about Blaze's place out here.
Yes.
And he was talking about a veteran that goes to Blaze's all the time, and his name was Leonard Christian. And Leonard is a retired plumber from Hallettsville. Well, Leonard used to be a member of the Dung Beetle Saloon crowd.
Look at that.
And his alias was Pierre.
Pierre.
Yeah, and the reason I tagged him Pierre is he came back there to drink beer one day and he was speaking in French. But I don't think it was real French.
It was made up French? He just said oui, oui?
Yeah, so I tagged him, Pierre, so that's Pierre.
Well, there you go. And let me really say how Blaze's Place came up in our meeting this morning. Is Chuck Grafe thought he heard a news-breaking story at Blaze's. And we all had to say, we may need to look into that a little bit more. Because Blaze's, sometimes you're under the influence.
Yeah.
When you're here
or if it was like at the Dung Beetle Saloon, they didn't have to be under the influence. If they knew I was sitting there fixing to write a column about them, they would say something crazy just so they could get in the paper. So
you have to be careful where you get your news from, and we have to check our sources. But when a meeting starts out with, I heard this at Blaze's, it's going to be a fun meeting. Then we said you got to have at least 3 sources, and so far I think you only had 1. Yeah. We'll see. Well, all right. That's it. We've just about, again, went over our limit. I don't have a limit. So, I know you don't. So, you want to say your goodbyes first, or you want me to say mine? I'll say mine because I never say them first. All right. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Keep watching our podcast Facebook page. Join it. We're doing stuff on that all the time as well. If you want to talk to us more, give us a call. Maybe we'll put you on our show. You know that Murray and I are watching, and we may point you out or pick on you, just like I did David. He's a great guy. I know he's enjoying it. But thank you all for listening. Have a wonderful weekend, and enjoy your extra day this year. You bet. All right. Is that it? That's it. Okay. Thanks for checking. All right, folks, we do appreciate you listening, and we hope you share this podcast with your friends. We hope more of you will come over to our local Lowdown group and join up, and you'll get to hear some
some stories from the old Dung Beetle Saloon, as well as other things that Michelle and I put together. But we do appreciate you being here, and we hope you're enjoying this cold weather. And we hope this is the last of it.
We've talked long enough that it's warm in here now.
Well, with that being said, goodbye, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week.
Goodbye.